Hey guys, this is Ash from Imagineyourgoddess, back with another deck profile. Today I'll be doing Aqua Force. So let's start off. First thing I run my starter is Officer Cadet Eric. It's your standard grade 3 searcher. The reason I run this is because we run 9K grade 3s and you don't really ever want to ride those. If you're in a position to ride those, then you're probably going to lose the game just because of that. And this is to kind of help ensure that you don't have to ride your 9K. I don't really generally like the grade 3 searchers, but in this special case, this is why I would use it. So for skip into our trigger lineup, I run 4 more stands for a total of 8 stands. This is Aqua Force, which is basically the only clan I would ever consider stands to be better than crits in, and that's partly due to their better on-hit effects. Most of the time, Aqua Force units will have on-hit effects that are more dangerous than letting crits through. And so you run 8 stands so you get the most out of that. Then I run 4 draw. I'm considering switching these for crits, but for now I feel that I need the draw power. Aqua Force goes through a lot of hand very quickly. You need to fill the field with a whole bunch of units, and the draws really help you, and they're also really great defensively as well. And of course, 4 heals. I don't think there's any deck that really wouldn't run heals except for maybe Kage Royals. For my grade 1 lineup, I have 4 perfect shields. I could probably reduce this to 3, but this is a personal preference. I generally like 4 perfect shields. We're in a cross-ride format, and with cards like Draconic Overload at the end, MLB, PBO, and even like some of the limit breakers, Ezel and whatnot, you want to have perfect shields to stop all those big numbers from hitting you on hit effects. I run 4 8K vanillas. Generally, I'd like to ride into this and maybe even boost with it, but most of the time I want it as just a ride so that I don't have to ride a 6K. Yeah, because every other grade 1 I run is a 6K. And I run 2 Dorothea. She's basically the 10K Vanguard booster, but in Aqua Force she is conditionless because you just have to attack as the 3rd attack, and she boosts for 10K. And your Vanguard should always be at least a 3rd or 4th attack in Aqua Force. And I run 2 strategic commanders. She is your damage taker. You counterblast 1, take a damage, and then heal it at the end of the turn, or heal 1 at the end of the turn. And it's mainly because I want to get Maelstrom's limit break off, and most people will stop attacking me at 3 damage, or they'll start going for my rear guards at 3 damage, and won't allow me to get the limit break off until they're really prepared for it. So this is kind of to ensure that I'll be able to get it off. And I run 2 Eugenes. For this kind of deck, or Maelstrom deck, you want at least 8 Storm Riders, at least until Benedict comes out. And with my other ones, I need these 2 to have the extra Storm Riders. And your field setup really requires you to have at least 1 Storm Rider, and with 8 in the deck, you're pretty likely to get 1 before grade 3. Alright, for grade 2s, I run 3 Coral Assaults. And I was testing this with a Lazarus and Algos, but they weren't that great. Generally, you hit a lot of stands in this deck if you run 8 of them. I'd actually prefer to run 12 stands, but you hit a lot of stands. So most of the time, my attacks weren't going to hit things because I needed to put trigger effects onto the Vanguard anyway. But this will swing for 11, basically, when you stand it, or if you decide to put it as the 3rd attack. Then I run 4 Valeria. She is probably the reason I decided to play Aqua Force. 9k that when it's 4th or more attack and it hits Vanguard, you get a retire rear guard. There's really a lot of pressure. Before you get Maelstrom's Limit Break, she'll be your 4th attack that you'll try to aim for. And she's also your primary stand target if you can get her to hit things. But generally, she and the Vanguard will be the only columns, ideally, that she will have boosted. And she just adds a lot of pressure to the deck. Then, finally, for the rest of my grade 2s, I run for Basil. He's basically a staple right now. There's a reason why he's like a $20 card. You need to have a lot of Storm Riders in this deck, and he's just the best Storm Rider to run that as a 4 of. 8k grade 2s really don't hurt as much as like 9k grade 3s or 6k grade 1s. But basically you'll attack with him first and then move him back and switch with the thing in the back of him. But with 10k he'll hit things like 10k Vanguards, and even like if you didn't want to hit a Vanguard for some reason, 8k will hit a lot of the 11k boost attackers for most clans as well. So for grade 3s, I run 2 Diamantes. I was running 3 and 4 before testing out, but generally I ended up having to ride him way too much, even with my grade 3 Searcher, and it hurts way too much to ride him. He's a vanilla 9k, and Aqua Force already has a lot of trouble with hand advantage, so not being able to guard him most of the time and having no really effects will basically screw you playing Aqua Force, so don't really run too many of this guy. He's just like Basil though. He first attack, swings for 11, then switch back, and that's what's pretty good about him because he will hit 11Ks without unboosted. So then I run 2 Hydra Hurricane. Honestly, this can be Naval Gazer. It's really preference, but I've gotten his effect off once or twice before, and he swings for 13. But generally, he's only in here because if I don't hit Maelstrom, I don't want to ride Diamantes, and of course you don't want to wait on your grade 3 ride because you'll lose out on too much card advantage that way. But most of the time you won't try to use his effect. I mean, the only time you really do it is if your opponent has like low cards in hand, a few interceptors, and you could make them blow the whole hand guarding it. And finally, I run 4 Maelstrom, the main Vanguard of the deck, kind of what the deck revolves around when it hits for 4th attack or more as a limit break. Plus, it gets plus 5k, and it gets to kill a rear guard and you get a draw card. And he's also one of the big reasons why you don't need to run crits in this deck, is because when he hits limit break, if you have your field set up correctly, they will almost never let him hit because you will boost too much from it. But it's a very devastating card, and yeah, it's just kind of what I feel makes Aqua Force really competitive right now. Anyway, that's been my Aqua Force deck profile for set 8. I might switch it out for when set 9 comes out, put Glory Maelstrom in here, or when we get Benedict, I'd probably put him in and switch out the Hydra Hurricanes. But yeah, this has been Ash from Imagineyourgoddess. Please like, subscribe, comment. We have a Facebook page as well, and tell us what you guys like to see.